Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you may be across this country or across our planet today. I want to thank you for joining us for our RC virtual morning yoga. I hope that you've been enjoying your week. It's always very filling and nourishing, can be overwhelming, and that's what yoga is for, to start each day from that grounded and centered place so that you're ready to take in everything that the conference has to offer. So thanks for creating this time in your schedule to be with us. Go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable seated posture. If possible, allow the spine to be erect so that the belly can fill with breath. And we'll spend these first few moments checking in with the body, checking in with the breath, allowing our awareness to settle, letting go of everything that we have encountered before reaching our mat, and letting go of what we'll step into when class is over. Letting your awareness drop down into the low belly. With each inhale, fill the belly with breath. So beyond just the nose or mouth, beyond just the back of the throat, even beyond the ribs and the lungs, allow that breath to drop deep down inside of your body, maybe even reaching the pelvis, maybe even reaching the toes. And as we take long, deep, conscious inhales, we can almost imagine each cell filling with just a little bit more oxygen, a little bit more nourishment. And we allow the exhale to gently seep out of the body, softening any tension that we're holding. And the longer that we sit, we might start to recognize that that tension that we're holding isn't just in our physical body, but maybe in our mental body, maybe even in our spiritual body. And using this as an opportunity to set these tensions aside for the next 45 minutes. Letting our breath keep us anchored in this present moment. Noticing that when the mind wanders away, we can always come back to the present through our breath. The beauty and gift of the breath is that we can only breathe right here, right now. We can't breathe later. It's not that we've already breathed, but in this moment, we're currently breathing. Almost as if the body is continually beckoning us back to this present moment. And as we begin to shift into the movement portion of our practice, we'll attempt to hold this awareness of the breath through each transition, through each posture, attempting to continually come back to that long, conscious, deep inhale and a settling exhale. Allowing that next inhale to help you rock to the front sides of the sits bones, tilting that pelvis forward. And on the exhale, we'll rock to the back sides of the sits bones, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. So on our inhale, we rock forward, allowing the front of the body to open just a little bit more. And on the exhale, we rock back, creating space along the back line of the body. On the inhale, we rock forward. And the exhale, we rock back. Allow this movement to be as small or as big as you feel. That movement might be hardly noticeable to the naked eye in your body, or maybe the movement brings you all the way into a deep-seated cat and cow. Again, listening to the individual needs of our body, not necessarily just listening to my words or my body, but what's happening inside of your body. And slowly make your way back to center. Find that long, upright spine. And we'll take one more long breath here, connecting the sits bones, the sacrum down into the earth and connecting through the center of the head all the way up into the heavens. And from here, we'll slowly release. We'll come directly to standing. So rise up in whatever way feels most comfortable for you. And we'll set our cushion aside, allowing our feet to be hip width apart. We'll open the joints from the top down. So as we're feeling connected through our feet, we lengthen through the spine out the center of the head. We'll bring right ear towards right shoulder. Gently allow the chin to drop down to the chest as left ear comes to left shoulder. Again, allow the chin to drop down towards the chest and right ear towards right shoulder. And slowly make your way back to center. Shoulder rolls, we'll let those shoulders come up, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind us and drop down. Rising up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and maybe even allowing those knees to bend and the body to arc as we create this movement. And we'll change directions, coming up from behind and rocking forward. Maybe now even letting the arms, the elbows, the wrists, and the fingers come with. And slowly coming back into standing posture, letting the feet come just a little bit wider. Hands can come to the hips. We'll shift our weight one direction, out in front, and then the opposite direction and around back. Big hip circles here, finding the full comfortable range of motion. Lengthening through those hamstrings as we bring the hips around back. Opening through the hip flexors as we come to the front. And we'll change directions. Preparing for a day of sitting at our computers, giving ourselves this time this morning to open the body, let the energy start to flow, open joints, and bring the long, deep breath, nourishing breath into the body. And from here, we'll come back to center, allowing those knees to bend, and we'll roll the knees out, letting the ankles, the feet, and the toes come with. Again, just allowing this movement to be really organic. We're all in our own spaces. And we'll come forward so we can allow this movement to be exactly what we need it to be. And slowly coming back to center. We'll heel to toe, walk those feet together, finding Tadasana or mountain posture, allowing those hands to drop down towards the earth. Center of the head rises towards the sky. Find that neutral space in the pelvis, soft and buoyant in the knees. Fingertips are dangling towards the earth. Imagine little fishing weights hanging from all 10 fingers. Giving just a little bit of a pull down towards the earth, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. One more long, deep breath here. And with our next inhale, arms rise to the sky. We'll let our feet come hip width apart, arcing in one direction, letting that inside arm drop down to the earth. Opening through the side body, attempting to keep that weight evenly distributed between both feet. And our next inhale brings us back to center, reaching the fingers up towards the heavens and arcing the opposite direction, allowing that inside arm to reach towards the earth. And slowly make our way all the way back through center. Hands float down by our sides. We'll gently shift our weight to that right foot. Left foot comes for tree, maybe at the ankle, maybe in the lower leg, maybe in the inner thigh. Again, in your home practice, you're welcome to grab for a chair or a wall, something to help with balance for this posture if that feels most right for you. We'll bring hands to heart center. The standing leg is strong here, so we're not locked out and hyperextended at the knee. The knee is buoyant. Hamstrings and quads are active. Palms pressed towards one another, allowing your gaze to settle on something not moving out in front. Find that focal point and then find your breath. With our next inhale, arms rise to the sky, letting the branches of your tree become as organic and individual as each of us. So maybe your branches are flowing up in the sky. Maybe your branches are reaching strong like the oak. Find where you are this morning. Feeling the earth energy come up through the bottom of the foot, nourishing through the leg and the body, reaching out through the fingers and the top of the head. One more breath here. And on our exhale, slowly release and gently find center. We're going to roll out that right ankle, taking just a moment here, rolling in one direction and then the other. And we'll shift our weight to the left foot, bringing the right foot either to the ankle, lower leg, or inner thigh. Again, grab for balance if that feels most right for you, hands to heart center. Strong but buoyant in that standing leg. Engage through the belly. Thinking about these standing balance postures as cultivating that balancing and grounding earth energy and bringing it up through our midline, up through perineum, through the center of the body, all the way up and out the center of the head. And as you're ready with your next inhale, allow the arms to rise up, letting the branches of your tree extend either towards the sky, maybe out to the sides, maybe even around behind the back of your body. Maybe your arms are fluid, like a birch sapling. Maybe you're feeling that strength of the oak or the maple. One more long breath here. And on your exhale, slowly release, coming back to center. Let's roll out that left ankle. Rolling in one direction and then the other. We'll come on up to the top of our mat. So finding that skinny edge of the mat, letting our feet be hip width apart. Long inhale here, feeling that grounding down into the earth, balancing, centering, strengthening. And with our next inhale, our arms rise to the sky, reaching the fingers up towards the heavens. Palms come to touch, and on our exhale, we fold forward, pressing those palms towards one another as we come all the way down, creating space in the upper back, finding your way into a full forward fold. Allowing the upper body to dangle, maybe even a gentle shake of the head yes or shake of the head no. Finding your breath, rolling those sits bones towards the heavens. Maybe the knees want to stay a little bit bent this morning. Again, listen to your body. And with our next inhale, placing the hands just below the knees, we'll lift for a flat back. Peel the belly up and away from the earth. Roll sits bones towards the sky. And on the exhale, gently fold forward. We'll shift our weight onto the left foot, step the right foot back. We're going to plant the feet for warrior one. So taking your time creating your foundation. On your inhale, press strong through that left leg. Engage the belly to help rise up. As we come into warrior one, our hands reach for the sky. Feeling strength in the back of the body as we stand up nice and tall. Minor micro adjustment here. Think about bringing your pubic bone towards your bottom ribs. So a really tiny micro movement as that tailbone tucks forward. Again, ever so slightly, hardly visible to the eye. Just engaging that intention of a strong belly, reaching the fingers to the sky as the shoulders drop to the earth. We'll take one more long breath here in warrior one. And on our exhale, we'll find warrior two. Arms reach out to the side, gaze is over that left hand. Our left knee stays directly above or somewhere behind the ankle. Reaching out through the fingers, dropping the shoulders to the earth. Lifting through the center of the head, strong in the belly. One more long breath here. And on our exhale, we'll windmill the hands down, placing them on either side of that left foot. We'll step the left foot back for plank or tabletop. Strong through the belly. In either posture, we're peeling the belly up and away from the earth. From here, we're going to come down onto our bellies, either knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Keep those elbows in close to the body as we lower down. Making contact with the earth, we'll release the toes. On our inhale, find a little baby cobra. Gaze out in front. Keep those elbows in towards the body. Point through the toes. Peel the belly up and away from the earth. And on our exhale, releasing back down. We'll come up to downward dog. Find the way that feels most right for you. Maybe it's coming up through plank. Maybe it's coming back to tabletop. And we find our downward dog. Protecting the low back in that transition. So really listening to your body and your body's needs. As our sits bones roll to the sky, our heels make their way to the earth. One more long breath here. And with our next inhale, right foot comes up in between the hands. We plant the feet for warrior one. So again, the foundation of this posture is most important. As we rise up, we engage the belly and in the back of the body as we come all the way to standing. Right knees directly above or somewhere behind that ankle. Heel of the right foot is in line with the instep of the left foot. And gently bring that right hip back ever so slightly. The left hip can come forward, keeping those hips squared off. As we reach our fingers to the sky, our shoulders drop down the back. Again, that tiny micro adjustment of pubic bone towards bottom ribs, nice and strong in the low belly, really activating the hara, that lower dantian here. One more breath. And on our exhale, we'll find warrior two. Arms reach to the side, gaze is over the right hand. Keeping the pelvis nice and open, maybe thinking about wrapping the tip of the right knee around the baby toe. So really trying to keep that pelvis open. We don't want the knee to drop down towards midline. One more long breath here. And on our exhale, we'll windmill the hands down, placing one on either side of the right foot. We're going to step the left foot forward, finding our full forward fold. Uttanasana, really letting the body hang, rolling sits bones to the sky. With our next inhale, find a half lift. And release into our full fold. We're going to rise to standing reverse swan dive. Knees bend just slightly, protect the low back. Reaching the arms out to the side, strong and long through the back and the spine as we rise all the way up. Hands come to heart center. Breathe here. Long inhales and long exhales. Bringing our attention into our feet. Feeling the feet make contact with the earth. And with our next inhale, arms rise to the sky. Reaching the fingers up towards the heavens, maybe even allowing the gaze to rise slightly. On the exhale, we fold forward. Again, press those palms towards one another as we find that full forward fold. Hands dangle to the earth, or we can interlace them at the elbows. With our next inhale, we'll find a half lift. And release to our full forward fold. Breathe here. And we'll shift our weight onto the left foot. Right foot steps back. We're going to plant our feet for warrior two. So allowing that stance to be maybe a little wider than it was for warrior one. Right knee comes directly above that, or excuse me, left knee comes directly above that left ankle. As we rise up, engage the legs, the belly, reach the fingers out towards the sides. Gaze over the left hand. Strong through the core. One more breath. On our exhale, we'll find peaceful warrior. Right hand lands back on the back of that right leg. Left arm reaches for the sky. Opening through the front of the belly. And with our inhale, we'll find warrior two. And on our exhale, we'll windmill down, placing one hand on either side of the left foot. We're going to step the left foot back, find plank or tabletop. Both postures allow us to pull the belly up and away from the earth, finding a nice strong core. And from here, on our exhale, we'll come to the earth. Again, knees, chest, and chin, or come all the way down through chaturanga. Keep those elbows in nice and close towards the body. Lowering to the earth, we'll release the toes, lift up for cobra. Maybe coming a little higher than we did the first time. Again, the chest comes out towards the top of the mat first, and then we rise up. Point through the toes, peel the belly up and away from the earth, nice and strong in the core. And on our exhale, we'll lower down. We're going to make our way into downward dog, maybe coming onto all fours first or pushing up through plank. Again, we really want to prevent any sharp or snappy movements in the low back on that transition. So coming through tabletop is a great option. We'll take one more breath here. And with our next inhale, right foot steps forward in between the hands. Again, we're planting the feet for warrior two, so taking your time. With your inhale, rise up. Arms reach out to the sides. Gazes over the right hand. Right knee directly above or somewhere behind that ankle. Breathe here. Find that low belly breath. With our next exhale, peaceful warrior, right hand rises, left hand comes down, or maybe reaching around the back of the body. Gaze can be up under that right elbow, or simply out to the side or directly out in front. With our next inhale, we'll find warrior two. And exhale to the earth, one hand on either side of that right foot. We're going to step the right foot back and find child's pose. So bringing all forward, coming to all fours, and then shifting our weight back as our forehead makes its way to the earth. Long inhales and long exhales here, breathing into the hips. If your shoulders want to break, we can bring hands around back by the feet, letting those shoulders roll down towards the earth. One more long breath here. And with our next inhale, we'll gently press up, finding hero. Bringing the legs together, knees are pointing directly out in front. We sit the body back in between those heels. In your home practice, if it's more comfortable for you to grab for that bolster, plus place underneath the bottom, keeping a little bit more space in the knee, feel free to do so. We'll spend just a couple of breaths here, hands resting down on the thighs. Gaze can settle out in front, down on the mat or on the wall in front of you. One more breath here. And on our exhale, we'll rock forward, crisscross the feet behind us, and then come onto our bottoms, bringing the feet directly out in front. Toes reach up for the sky. Bring those kneecaps back towards you. Lift the heels up off the floor. We're sitting up nice and tall here, long and strong through the spine, belly strong. On the inhale, arms rise, reaching through those fingers. From here, gently allow the heels to make their way down onto the earth, and we'll throw our fingertips way out over the toes. Imagine that our fingers are 10 inches longer than they are. Belly button comes down first, and then chest. Eventually, the gaze drops to the knees, finding ourselves in this nice deep forward fold. Long inhales and long exhales. We can allow the inhale to rise the body just slightly so the belly can fill with breath. And then on the exhale, maybe even folding a little farther forward. We'll spend a couple of breaths here, noticing if maybe you've gone past your edge, backing off just slightly. Wherever we are in any of our postures, we want to be sure that we can take long, deep breaths. So if you find that a posture is limiting your breath, back off just slightly. And with our next inhale, slowly make your way back to center. We're going to bring that right foot in, nice and close towards our pelvis, and then turn so we're sitting more sideways on the mat. So we've got our left leg extended out, right foot is in towards the pelvis, right knee is bent. We'll bring our left hand over towards that right knee, right arm rises up overhead, and then coming into a gentle arc, reaching those right fingers towards the left toes. Breathing here. And slowly coming all the way back through center. Left foot comes in to meet the right, finding Baddha Konasana, letting those knees make their way down towards the earth. We'll interlace our fingers around the toes. Long inhale here, lifting through heart center. And on our exhale, a slow, gentle fold forward. Belly button comes down first, and then chest, and then gaze. Breathe here. Long, deep inhales, long, deep exhales into the hips. And with our next inhale, slowly coming back to center. We're going to keep the left foot tucked in nice and close towards the pelvis. Right foot extends to the outside of the mat. We'll bring our right hand over to the left knee. Left arm reaches up and over, arcing through the side body. Left fingers reach for those right toes. Breathing here, long inhales and long exhales, keeping those right toes reaching for the sky. That right leg is active and strong. One more breath. And with our inhale, slowly making our way back to center. We're going to bring the right foot in to meet the left. And then from here, bring our feet a little bit further away from our pelvis. So we've got a nice big diamond in our lap. The feet and ankles are at the front edge of the mat. Our pelvis is at the back end of the mat. We'll place right hand underneath the right ankle. Right elbow makes its way down towards the earth. Left arm reaches for the sky. We can stay right here or bring this left arm around the back of the body, reaching for the right hip. Gaze is over the left shoulder if that feels good for us. Otherwise, gaze can be down towards our toes. One more breath here. And on our exhale, release, coming back to center. Left hand slides underneath the left ankle. Left elbow makes its way down towards the earth. Right arm reaches to the sky. Again, we can stay right here or bring this right hand around the back of the body, reaching for the left hip. Gaze is over right shoulder, up at the sky or out to the side. And we'll take one more deep breath here. And on our exhale, slowly release, coming all the way back through center. We're going to turn on our mat and make our way down onto our backs. As we lower down, we'll keep our heels tucked nice and close in towards our bottom. Hands come down by our sides, palms pressing into the earth. We're going to imagine that we've got a ball or a block between our knees. We're going to hold and squeeze in on that imaginary ball. Hands are down by our sides. With our next inhale, we'll begin by gently tucking the tailbone so that it points to the space right between the knees. From here, gently rise the pelvis towards the sky as we press the palms into the earth. As we rise up, we engage the glute muscles, pressing into the heels, bringing hamstrings, quads active into our bridge. Nice and long and extended through the neck so that we don't want to look up above the head and we don't want to look down at our belly. Just a gentle, even, neutral neck here. One more breath. And on our exhale, we'll lower down one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way down, nice and slow, and then knees come into chest with a gentle rock from side to side. And slowly making our way back to center, bringing the feet to the earth, keeping the heels nice and close in towards our bottom. Again, imagine that ball between the knees. Engage the inner thighs. Tuck the tailbone to the space between the knees. Press the palms into the earth, and we lift pelvis directly towards the heavens. Engage the glutes. Press into those heels. One more long breath here. And on our exhale, we'll lower down one vertebrae at a time. And knees come into chest. Gentle rocking from side to side, just releasing any tension that may have formed in the low back. And slowly bringing the feet to the earth. We're going to keep the knees standing and bring the feet out nice and wide so the feet are at the edges of the mat. From here, we're going to drop the right knee down towards midline, coming onto the big toe edge of the right foot. Right arm reaches up overhead, feeling the long line from the right fingers down through the side body, releasing through psoas, hip flexors, quads, and then pressing out that right knee. Long, deep, beautiful breaths here. And with our next inhale, we'll stand to the right knee and allow the right hand to come back down by our side. From here, left knee drops down towards midline, coming onto the big toe edge of the left foot. Left arm reaches up overhead. Feeling those long lines of the body from fingertips down through the right knee, or left knee, excuse me. Long, deep breaths to fill the belly with breath, lengthening the front lines of the body. And with our next exhale, allowing the hand to come back down by our side, standing the knee, we'll bring both of the feet in, placing the soles of the feet towards one another, allowing the knees to drop out to the left and right sides of the body. Here in our reclining Baddha Konasana, as the knees drop down to the earth, we allow the small of the back to rise up off of the mat. Again, opening through heart center, opening through belly. Hands can be resting on our torso or laying down on the earth by our side. Finding those long, deep, nourishing breaths. The body is recognizing that we're coming into our resting posture. So you might already start to feel the eyes want to close. Maybe starting to feel heaviness in the back of the head. We can place the tongue right behind the front two teeth, right where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth, allowing the jaw to be open and at rest. We'll breathe here, long inhales and long exhales. With our next inhale, we'll gently stand the right knee and then extend the right leg all the way down on the earth, allowing that foot to flop open, allowing the leg to be held by the earth. And with our next inhale, we'll stand the left knee and extend the left leg all the way down, allowing that foot to flop open. And bringing our awareness into our belly, finding that low, deep belly breath. Bringing the nourishment of not only the oxygen into our physical body, but the awareness of this present moment comes in to nourish our mind and our spirit. Knowing that we have already carved out these next few moments of our day to be fully present. We have nowhere else to be. We have nothing else to be doing. We can allow our mind to spend these next few moments watching the rise and fall of the breath. And as we prepare for a day of community, a day of creativity, a day of expansive awareness, we'll begin by finding a balancing and grounding breath cycle that also will allow us to be alert, aware, and prepared. So with our inhale, we'll allow a gentle count of 4. Hold just briefly at the top of the breath. And an exhale to that same gentle count of 4. And hold briefly at the bottom of the breath. So we'll inhale counting 4, hold, exhale counting 4, and hold. If you notice that your mind wants to wander away, just gently acknowledging the natural workings of the mind and allow your awareness to come back into the breath. Again, counting that inhale and counting the exhale. As you lay here in this posture, maybe you begin to notice that your breath naturally wants to lengthen, and feel free to change the count of your inhale and exhale, just keeping the count the same. So maybe your inhale has shifted to 5 or 6, and allow your exhale to also shift to 5 or 6. Acknowledging, even if it's just for a brief moment, that pause in between inhale and exhale, and the pause between exhale and inhale. Noticing if the body has picked up a holding pattern, Maybe some tension has begun to come back in. And we can use this balanced and grounding breath to help balance and ground the body. So maybe notice if a shoulder needs to drop back to the earth. Maybe a fist needs to unclench, a brow to soften. Using the presence of our mind and our breath to encourage this balanced presence of the body. And for the last few moments of Shavasana, go ahead and allow your count to settle. Release any attempt to control the breath. And for these moments, enjoy the space that you've created. Settling into the state of being. Notice that the doing mind might want to come back in, and just invite it to wait. Invite the doing mind to settle so that we can experience just another moment or two of being. And with your next inhale, we'll allow a gentle fist to come into each hand. Gently point the toes. We'll roll the ankles and roll the wrists. And then slowly release. With our next inhale, extending the fingers in all directions. Flexing the toes. And then slowly release. Using these next couple of moments to allow the breath to help you roll to one side. Maybe bringing the knees in towards the chest. Spending just a brief moment here as we transition back into our day. We allow the breath to help us press up when we're ready to a comfortable seated posture. And again, find that even and balanced breath, allowing your count to come back into your awareness. Knowing that this grounded and balancing place is never too far away. We'll allow our inhale to bring our hands to heart center. And again, I want to thank you all so much for being with us. Enjoy your day. I hope to see you tomorrow. Namaste.